What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another football video where today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions ahead of match day number 7 in the Premier League. So before I do crack on with this video, I'd say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. SofaScore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the ground. It's going to keep you up to date with the latest match information, the latest team news, statistics, and so much more. Not just limited to football scores and information. The SofaScore app has got you guys covered for all the sports and scores and information. As I said, it's all in one place, all in one app. It's a free app to download, very highly rated, and anyone that does download using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So having a look at how my predictions went last time round, looking at Premier League match day number 5, because obviously I missed match day number 6 as I've been away. So match day number 5, casting your mind back a couple of weeks ago, we had the Merseyside derby. I had Liverpool down as 2-1 winners. Spot on with that one. I had Brighton down as a 1-1 draw with Tottenham Hotspur at the Amex Stadium. Finished 2-2. Wasn't far away with that. Burnley against Nottingham Forest. Couldn't split it. Went score draw 1-1. Spot on with that one. Then things start to dip from there. West Ham Crystal Palace had that down as a 1-1 draw. That finished 2-1 to Crystal Palace. A good away win for them. I had Wolves down as 2-1 winners against Leeds. Leeds picked up a fantastic victory on the road, winning by 3-1, and a big blow there for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I had Manchester United and Chelsea down as a score draw, as I couldn't really split that one. Manchester United picked up a much needed 3 points at home against Chelsea. And then I had Fulham Brentford down as 2-1. That finished 3-1 to Fulham, so weren't too far away with that match. Now moving on to Sunday 21st of September, I had Bournemouth down as 2-1 winners at home against Newcastle. That game finished 0-0. I had Sunderland down as a 0-0 draw with Aston Villa. That finished 1-1, wasn't too far away there. And finally I had Arsenal down as 3-1 winners against Manchester City. That finished 1-1. Put a little jinx on there. I was hoping that the jinx would work, and it very nearly did. Manchester City conceded in the 93rd minute, and Arsenal just about scraping a point at home against Manchester City. As I said, I didn't cover match day number 6 as I've been away, so I can't grade myself on that performance. But what we can do is predict match day number 7 in the Premier League, and with games taking place over the weekend of the 3rd to the 5th of October before we hit another international break. Can be very frustrating. So starting on Friday 3rd of October 2025, we're heading down to the south coast. AFC Bournemouth are at home taking on Fulham at 8 PM BST, with the game being broadcast live here in the UK on Sky Sports. Can't split these two, so we're doing what I always do. Sensible score draw, going 1-1 for that game. Now we have 4 games taking place on Saturday 4th of October, starting off in Yorkshire, more specifically, and going to Ellen Road. You've got Leeds United taking on Tottenham Hotspur at 12:30 PM BST, with the game being broadcast live on TNT Sports, and that's going to be a real tricky away game for Tottenham Hotspur. And do you know, I'm going for Leeds United. Would it be a shock for them to pull off a victory? I think Leeds are going to do it. I'm going 2-1 Leeds United for that game in the early kickoff. And then to the 3 PMs, you've got Arsenal taking on West Ham at the Emirates Stadium. I can't see anything other than Arsenal winning that game. I was going to go 3-0, but I thought I'll be generous to West Ham, and I've gone 3-1 instead of 3-0, but I think Arsenal are picking up the 3 points there. And then to the northwest of England, to Old Trafford, you've got Manchester United taking on Sunderland. I'm going with a 2-1 Manchester United win. I think they will be too strong for Sunderland, but I'm going with a very similar game that Man United had against Burnley, and I'm going with Manchester United to leave it late before they end up picking up a win. I wouldn't rule out some kind of dodgy decision going in Manchester United's favour when it looks like Sunderland are going to pick up a really good point on the road against Manchester United, but I'm going 2-1 Man United for that game against Sunderland. And then the final game on Saturday, possibly game of the weekend, you got Chelsea taking on Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. That's game kicking off at 5:30 PM BST with kickoff time, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. Weren't too sure which direction this is going to go. I know Liverpool are missing Alisson in goal, and I think that might be a bit of a blow, but I think Liverpool may just try and structurally make themselves a bit more defensive, a bit tighter, and not try and give Chelsea as much space. I can see Chelsea scoring, I can see Liverpool scoring. I weren't sure what to do with it, so as I did with the Bournemouth-Fulham game, we're going score draw, going sensible, sitting on the fence. 1-1. Now moving on to the 5 games on Sunday 5th of October, starting off in the Midlands, you've got Aston Villa taking on Burnley at 2 p.m. BST, with the game being broadcast live on Sky. In fact, the next 4 games that I'm going to speak about are all kicking off at 2 p.m. BST and all being broadcast live on Sky Sports here in the UK. So Aston Villa taking on Burnley. Aston Villa, I think, are just starting to slowly but surely find their feet. I think they'll be too strong for Burnley, so going solid 2-0 win for Aston Villa. Then we're heading to Merseyside. You've got Everton taking on Crystal Palace. I've been very impressed with Crystal Palace so far this season, and I think they're going to pick up a really good away victory. So I'm going Everton 1, Crystal Palace 2 as my prediction for that game. And then you've got Newcastle United taking on Nottingham Forest. I think Newcastle are going to be too strong. I think that's going to be a very nip and tuck, pretty close game. I can see Forest being very defensive, obviously under new manager Ange Postecoglou. For me, not as a defensive-minded manager as what Nuno Espirito Santo is, but yeah, I think Newcastle will be too strong. I think Newcastle will win that game, going 2-1 Newcastle. Be interesting to see what impact the European football's had on the teams that are playing on Sunday, in particular with Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. Be interesting to see how they work their squad rotation and player fatigue as we hit an international break as well. I think it's just something that all the teams have to think about. And finally, the final game of the 2 p.m. games, you've got Wolves taking on Brighton. Not been impressed with Wolves so far this season, so I think Brighton are going to be too strong, so I'm going for a 2-0 victory there for Brighton. And then the final game on Sunday, we're heading to West London. You've got Brentford against Manchester City. I think Man City will be very disappointed from their result that they picked up midweek in the Champions League against AS Monaco. City needing a response, obviously conceding a penalty, upset with the referee and the decisions that had gone against them. There's lessons there to be learnt, and Manchester City is with points that City dropped against Brentford last season. They put themselves in a really good position at the GTEC Community Stadium and then ultimately blew it all away in the final 10 minutes, ran out of steam, and Brentford picked up a couple of late goals and managed to come away with a point. And they're going to be looking to try and do something similar here with this game kicking off at 4:30 p.m. BST, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. So I can see it's been a really close game. I can see Man City potentially dropping points in this game, if I'm being completely honest. I'm just hoping that Man City aren't, because they've put themselves in a good position. Some difficult fixtures, Manchester United at home, Arsenal away. They've come away with 4 points from them games. They've beaten Burnley last weekend. They need to keep that momentum going, and winning away against Brentford would be a good way to go about things. Brentford have been a little inconsistent here and there this season, so I think if Man City do turn up and play to the best of their ability, I think they'll be too strong for Brentford, which is why I've gone with a 2-1 victory for City. I think the lessons from Monaco midweek will be learnt, and I do think that AS Monaco have a bit more precision, a youthful look, and a very quick attacking team who have a lot of energy in midfield. Brentford also have that. I just don't think they have as much quality as AS Monaco. AS Monaco are a Champions League team. Brentford are a very good Premier League team, but they're not a Champions League team. But I can see it's been a close game. I can see both sides sharing a point, to be honest, and I can see this ending up level, but I'm hoping that Man City will make it about quality, 10 out of 10 performance, continue the good form of Erling Haaland, and I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester City and try and be as optimistic as I can. So they have been my thoughts ahead of matchday number 7 in the Premier League. Do get your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on the video. That would be much appreciated. Lets me know that you are enjoying the videos. Do subscribe as well if you are new around here. It is free to subscribe. On that push now to 48,000 subscribers, less than 200 subs away, so any help towards that would be great. Social media links, they're in the description too if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description as well if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.